Hello world, my name is Tim Roswick, and today I wanted to talk about the quarantine, all the crazy shit going on in the world, all the stuff that's happening, and how to take care of yourself, and how to be okay, because the world is a little crazy right now. And I kind of mentioned it in videos before this, but I want to specifically make a video on making sure that you're okay. So the very first thing, just the first thing that I just want to say, because I see this going crazy, is it's okay to not be productive during a fucking pandemic. It's okay. I saw an image on Reddit that said that. I'm not the original poster. I stole that shit. No, but for real though, it's okay to not be in tip-top shape, to be at the top of your productivity game, when crazy shit is happening, right? When economies are collapsing and people are panicking, people are dying, man. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay for you to not be at the height of your game ever. That's okay. So take a second and just be like, yo, it is okay that I'm not operating at optimal efficiency. I am not a robot. I have emotions, not just logical needs. Okay? I'm not some machine that's just built to work 24/7. It's okay that this stuff affects me. It's okay. It's okay. So just want to get that out of the way. Second of all, I just want to say, get the fuck off the news. Get the fuck off the news. Obviously you gotta stay up to date with stuff, right? But limit your exposure to it. One of the things I noticed with me, I don't have a lot of contact with the outside world to begin with, so I'm somewhat isolated. I spend a lot of time just working on my own projects, right? But when all this happened, then the little bit of social contact I did have just kind of shut off. So it's really easy for me to read a bunch of news stories and end up in this loop where it seems like the world is ending when, there's a lot of, the media makes more money on the negative stuff, right? So that's all you're going to hear about. There's a lot of good stuff that's going on. A lot of good things are happening. A lot of people are mobilizing to help. A lot of stuff is happening that can help flatten the curve and that kind of thing, that can help us through this crazy hard time, right? A lot of stuff is happening that's good too. A lot of people are helping. A lot of people are contributing to us as a society beating this thing out, right? So it's really easy to get stuck in a loop of read bad shit, holy shit, the world is ending, let me read bad shit, because then you're just constantly in this loop. And the problem with social media, with Facebook and YouTube specifically, but most social media platforms operate like this, they have algorithms to feed you the things that you click on. So if you're clicking on negative stuff on YouTube about coronavirus, guess what you're gonna get in your front page of YouTube? You're gonna get more stuff, and you're gonna go down a rabbit hole and a bubble, and you're not even gonna know you're in a bubble. But really, there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of fantastic content creators helping people out during this time. There's a lot of game developers releasing great games. There's a lot of music makers making great music. There's a lot of people even putting their stuff out for free on the internet that can help you kind of cope through all this stuff. So if you're gonna watch the news, I understand that you need to, not when I say watch the news, I don't just mean watch it on TV. I mean look up on the internet, follow hashtags on Twitter, all that stuff. Limit your exposure to it. That's what I've been doing for me, and just half hour a day or something like that. And I try not to do it right when I wake up, because then it just derails the day. So I'll usually wait. The times I've been checking have been different, but usually middle of the day, so it doesn't fuck up my sleep and it doesn't fuck up my day in the morning. But yeah, don't just end up in that loop, because it's really easy to psych yourself. At least it is for me, to just completely psych myself out. The other thing, this was a piece of advice from Chris DeLeon. If you don't know him, he runs Home Team Game Dev, formerly Gamketo. He's got a YouTube channel as well. It's fantastic content, and he mentioned to me to maybe try to make something with no commercial intent. And I was like, you know what? That's a good idea, because one of the things that I've been doing during this whole thing is like thinking I need to work, right? Like, oh, I needed to get stuff done. And that's true. Like everybody, like, especially if you've got a job, maybe you're working from home. If you're an entrepreneur, you're working on your business, whatever it is, you got to get work done. But also trying to fit in your project where it's kind of like an entrepreneurial step, right? Like if we're making commercial indie games, really what we're doing is we're making a product to sell. So that comes with its own added craziness with it. And instead sitting down and trying to design something specifically with no commercial intent, I think actually helped me quite a bit. I've been messing around with Inkscape a lot and working on my art skills. Specifically for like, not even just for like games, just for like stuff that I want to make. And it keeps popping in my head like, oh, well, I should be doing something that's going to like move my project forward, right? I should be working the most efficiently. But I keep stopping myself because the problem with that is like you're adding pressure onto yourself and you're already under pressure because the whole world's under pressure right now. And it's okay to make stuff specifically with no pressure because creativity and creation in itself can be a form of therapy, be a form of meditation. It can be a form of getting emotions off your chest, right? That's all Phylophobia is. It's one giant lump of emotions poured into a platformer. But it can help. The problem is if you inherit the pressure from a project that you feel like needs to be successful or that you need to show, or you should be marketing it, or you should be tweeting about it, but then like you feel conflicted because like people are dying, so you don't want to like tweet about your stupid game when like people are dying, and it's like it's weird, but like you know you need to do marketing, and it's like all these conflicting thoughts, right? But what if you just didn't? What if you just worked on something that like made you feel good? You know, I'm a big advocate of finish it and discipline and working on your project and stuff like this, but your mental health is more important than your business efficiency, because ultimately your mental health is going to improve your business efficiency, right? If you're in the tip-top shape mentally, you can do better on your business, which means you can go farther, which means you can do all that stuff. There are a lot of other, you know, I don't want to make this sound like it's like, oh, well, it's simple, just do that, just don't be poor, right? Like that's not what I'm trying to say, because I know there's a lot of very intricate issues. There's a lot of people losing their jobs. There's a lot of people that can't work right now. There's a lot of people out of income, and that shit sucks, man. And I don't know what the solution is, all that. And I know that there's a lot of problems with it, and I don't have the answers to that stuff. I'm not some guru. I'm just a dude that makes video games on the internet. But I've found that for me, during the midst of craziness like that, is when I need to waste time, in air quotations, right? It's not, it's wasting because it's like, at least this is how I classify things in my brain. It's wasting time if it's not moving me towards my financial goals, right? Especially during a time of financial uncertainty, it's like, oh, I should be doing the thing that makes me money. But then there's the emotional side of it, because remember, you're not a robot. I'm not a robot. We are not robots. Robots can do the same thing over and over again efficiently just because they're told to, right? That's not what we are. We have a very intricate body and intricate needs, and these needs are connected, and the logical wants and needs and desires are connected to the emotional cravings and desires, and then you've got all this stuff that's intertwined, and then you've got people with varying, you know, pros and cons and abilities and weaknesses, and it's just a really complicated set of things. So you've got to take care of you. And one of the things that I found that works for me is to create something with no commercial intent. Actually, the intent to not even show anybody, just to make stuff. I feel like it comes out a little more pure, and it helps me get the emotions out of me and onto a page. Art does that specifically. Phylophobia helped tremendously with that, and I credit that game with leaps and bounds of improving my mental health by making a game where love was literal hell, and pouring my emotions into this game and all the dark, fucked up things that have went on in my head and all the crazy shit that's happened to me. Like I poured it all into that game. And yeah, it ended up being a commercial product, but it helped me more than anything else. So that's a big one for me. The last one is one of the things that I've been doing that's helping tremendously is trying to immerse myself in games. So like over the last like 5 years or so, for some reason, I haven't been a huge gamer, right? I've been really into game dev, but I haven't been a huge gamer. But I started about probably like 2 years ago. I started watching a few YouTube channels that play games every day, play indie games. I watch Splattercat Gaming, I watch Nucleum, I watch a series of people that all they do is like they just play new games every day. So I started doing that, and then I started downloading some of these games I thought was cool and started playing them. But I realized like the games don't really hold me like they used to. So what I started doing instead was trying to really like going into the game, trying to immerse myself in it. Like I didn't used to do that. I used to just play a game. Oh, it held me or it didn't, right? It's fun or it's not. It's whatever. But I've tried to go into games lately wanting to be pulled in. And like I try to let the game do that as much as possible. So I'll sit down, maybe I'll dim the lights, I'll put the headphones on, I'll even turn the second monitor off or whatever. I'll play the game and I'll like try to go into that world. And there's a few games that work better for me to do this. Observer actually worked really, really well. It pulled me in, like given the headphones and the dark lights and the game. That game is super atmospheric, and it really, really, really was able to pull me in that way. XCOM is another something I've been playing. Phoenix Point. I really like strategy games, so they've been really helping me out quite a bit. But I find that like I should stop saying when I anyway, I don't know if this will help everybody because everybody's different, but when I go into a game looking for that immersion, when I go in wanting it, it's more likely to happen. But two, I get a much richer, fuller experience out of it. And one of the benefits is, like, people talk about games as escapism sometimes, and there's like a truth to that and there's like a untruth to that. I think games allow you to become something different and immerse yourself in a different world. And the dark side of it is that you can use that to not feel your emotions, right? Like if you're going through some rough times or whatever, you can use it to like numb yourself to what you're feeling so that you don't have to feel it, which I think is the bad way to handle it. But the other flip side is that games can act as a form of meditation, right? If you're looking through the news over and over again and you're seeing all this bad stuff and you're really worried, and like you're worried about your parents and you're worried about your grandparents and like you're worried about all this stuff and you got to go to the grocery store for everybody, but like, you know, there's just so much like stuff. Being immersed in a game can help you become something different and take you out of this world so that when you come back to it, almost like a form of meditation, right? So when you come back to the world, it's like a reset. So now it's like, okay, now you're good. Like, and that it's almost like waking up after you come out of being fully immersed in a game. You like woke up for the day, and it's like a blank slate. It's like fresh. You're not worried about anything. You're not there. And then, you know, sometimes the stuff comes pouring back, which sucks. And that's why people form addictions and stuff like that. Like, from anything, from substance to games or whatever, just like they play it, their bad feelings go away, they stop playing it, they stop drinking alcohol, they stop doing drugs, whatever it is, and then all those emotions come back. But I find with the news stuff specifically, it seems to kind of calm me down a little bit and pull me out of that state. And it's almost like a state of meditation where, because my brain has become something different, I become a commander in an army or something, right? And then now I'm back to Tim with an overgrown quarantine beard. It kind of helps reset the thing, and then I can choose what to put in my brain. And usually that does not have to do with news. It has to do with positive self-reinforcement stuff. So that's a really long, convoluted way to just say try to play games. but like it really helps if you try to immerse yourself. And like I said, I haven't played many games in the last 5 years, but the last year or so, the amount of games that I played and the enjoyment that I get out of games has gone up significantly by trying to immerse myself in them. And I've gotten a lot richer, fuller experiences out of it, so I recommend that. That's all I got for you, but I want you to leave your top tip down in the comments below. I'm sure you're dealing with quarantine stuff too. You're dealing with mental health stuff too. Leave what you do down in the comments. Let us know how you're dealing with it and some of the things that you're doing. And if you don't have anything to share, that's fine. Just go through the comments and see if there's anything that works for you, that helps you out. I want to say thank you to my beautiful patron peeps. They help me keep doing what I'm doing. They help me do all this stuff and post videos and Twitch streams and the Game Dev Underground community on Discord, which by the way you should join down below if you need somebody to talk to. Thousands of game developers all around the world that would love to talk about your project and share stuff with you. So I recommend you check that out. I love you all. Stay safe. Wash your hands and stuff. And we'll get through this together. My name is Tim Roswick. I'll see you in the next video.